Hey everyone, welcome to another video for Earth Heart Healing and an Energy Healer's Guide to Spiritual Awakening. It's Sunday once again, and I'm here with a nice glass of sparkling water to bring in the ambiance of the moment. And what I want to talk about today is abandonment, wounding, the importance of staying connected to our families as we heal, and I think that's it for today. So I just finished holding space for the chakra alignment journey. And then the week after, I went into a big trauma of my own, a past trauma of this life, which its core frequency is abandonment wounding. So there are many wounds of the heart. And if you're watching this because you are looking for information on abandonment wounding, energy healing, processes related to that, then yeah, I'm going to give you a couple bits of insight that I kind of felt this week, and especially today. I also created a guided meditation to go in and heal your inner child related to abandonment wounding. The link will be below. And I guess I'll just begin with the story, guys. So chakra alignment journey, I was dating somebody and they weren't able to see me in the time frame that I felt was necessary to keep the relationship in a good way, keep the connection in a good way. And it triggered a huge abandonment wound, and it came from the subconscious. I didn't really know what it was, but the core experience was extreme pain and needing and wanting more connection. Needing and wanting more connection. That was the message that came through. You need more connection. And the pain of the abandonment colored the dynamic and the way that I related to this particular person. And the day after the big wound and the expression and the need came through, and it was also colored with a lot of fear of like not knowing if I could say or state my needs, but then doing it anyway. So breaking through that like fear barrier of I don't deserve to say what I feel, what I want. Of course, like what might happen if you say what you want, if you don't get the answer you want. I always find that it's really good practice to like be comfortable with, moving into the unknown, being ready to let go of something fully before you make the move. But, it's inevitable. If we have something coming up from the subconscious that needs to be shifted, that subconscious patterning is going to be coloring all of our connections and our relationships in the outer world. So if it comes up and it's asking to be looked at, eventually in your own time, you have to speak your truth, state your needs. And, I guess I've been doing this work for over 10 years, and I now feel like my inner coherence is strong enough to go directly to the person. So if you feel like you're strong in your inner authenticity and your like ability to stay in your center through the rocky moments, and you feel like that person that you're going to talk to is safe and capable, I always recommend talking directly to them. And if you don't feel that, then write it in a journal, reflect on it. I have other people in my life where that wouldn't be possible, and so writing it out might be the best alternative. Either way, there's an external world process that needs to take place and an external world process that needs to take place. So the core of it is that when we're younger, we need certain conditions emotionally to develop in a healthy way, to be able to express a full bandwidth of emotions. And we need adults to be with us in our younger years to hold space for that development. So we actually can't process emotions when we're younger, when we're really young, 3, 4. we need a biofield. We need the biofield of an adult to be present with us, to attune to us, to see what we're feeling, to speak to what we're feeling, and reflect that back to us and hold the space. So if that doesn't happen, we get stuck in freeze, fawn, flight, and fight. And as you are doing inner work, these things come up to be processed, to be looked at, to be expressed, to be held, to be reconnected with. And so the inner child guided meditation journeys, if you're someone who's quite sensitive and intuitive, you can often, if you're working with the biofield and you've taken this route for healing, it's possible to do it without, any types of psychedelics or medicines that might open your ego more to the subtle world. But sometimes you can take that route too, and can always do if you want to open things in a stronger way, you can always maybe work with medicines. Obviously, it's just my opinion. I'm going to put the disclaimer at the beginning again. Or not, it's up to you what you feel is right. I guess I have some friends lately who are like, I don't know if I really want to do that. Do I have to do the medicines? I live in Central America, so everything is above board over here. And I guess for myself, I'm like, you don't have to. Sometimes it's really good to do those things if you are feeling like it's below the surface and there's something that just can't be accessed. No matter how hard you try, there's just something like just on the outside of your awareness, then it's a great route to take. But if you're someone who's sensitive and are getting lots of shifts without working with medicines, then just carry on like that until you get the call. Listen to your intuition, listen to your inner guidance. Doing this guided meditation type of thing is really, and what the core of it is we're bringing a packet of pain into the present moment and reconnecting with it, feeling the frequency, maybe personifying the being that we were, that's frozen in time, and reconnecting, remothering, reparenting, refathering that being with our present moment frequency. So we're becoming our own parent within our energy field by using our high sense perception to drop in. And in all of my guided meditations, I'm going to connect you to the sun and to the crystalline core. After experiencing some years of like psychic attack and moving my higher self through the lower astral realms and getting kind of imploded there a little bit in my sense of self, I really, really want to make sure everyone is safe in any journeys they take with me. So connecting to the sun and the crystalline core seems to be a good way to foster that. So the inner world, we're healing usually it's the victim version that's kind of in the inner world, typically. I mean, I guess it could be the other way as well, somehow. But everything comes in pairs and through dualism. So another important key in healing these types of things is to see the inner one that's the victim and then find the other one that's expressing. And usually that one is going to be expressing in the outer world, maybe below our awareness, below our embrace, something that's sort of on autopilot in the subconscious. That is the aggressor version of that particular wound. So with me, I had so much insight today. I was like, wow, how am I abandoning myself and abandoning others in the outer world? Because I have that abandonment wound stuck within me. And I could see it in threads through like emails, not following up with people when I should, leaving people hanging, mostly digitally. And just not being like, and also with myself, like completing projects fully, getting to the end of things, really being present for my own creations and stepping into that role. So it's all been very insightful. And the last piece that I want to bring through is, with all of these relational moments of healing in our evolution as humans, moving out of what I call the trauma-based matrix into our divine blueprints into our fifth dimensional expression, which actually is correlated through the science of Barbara Brennan. That's what I use for my what to lean back on in the healing arts. One of many. I was actually trained through a program called Advanced Integrative Energy Healing, and my teacher was trained through Barbara Brennan. So I don't have first-hand experience with the lady, but we did use her books, and we did lean heavily into her science. So in the auric field, through this particular modality of healing, the fifth layer, which is connected to our throat, is considered our divine blueprint. And it is like our heal, hold version if there was no trauma stuck in our nervous system. And that is a lot of the work of embodying into our physical body as spirits into this world, doing the awakening journey, the ascension journey, the heart-centered healing journey. And so knowing that we have a pathway to wholeness, it's also important, how am I threading this back, that I find it's actually really important to stay connected to our families, to find ways of, there's so many stages to it. At the beginning, there's usually like a lot of insight comes through. We're so overjoyed by, wow, this healing is possible. Wow, did you know this? We are all one, we are all interconnected to each other. There's higher dimensions and the angels and the channeling and the ability to astral travel, and there's more to the world than meets the eye. There's not just this physical world, and where do we go when we die? And it's all very, 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 very exciting. And it usually wants to be expressed and shared with everyone around you. And in that way, find groups that are going through that stage of evolution with you. Share amongst them. Send little tidbits to your family if you want to, but don't overwhelm their biofields. This is just my opinion on all of this. Because what really needs to happen at that point is your personal integration, your personal up-leveling of your frequency. It's like a popcorn. You're like a popcorn that's popped, and now you need to do all that integration, and expressing outwards is part of the integration. Then we start to settle into ourselves. We start to get a little more serene, a little more contained, a little more intentional with how we express what we want to express. All of this evolution becomes a bit normalized in our reality, just like there's trees and animals. And I've, like a little side note, I found within myself that, there's a big push to move away from the mainstream world at the beginning, but eventually we have enough inner coherence, enough vibrational integration within ourselves that you can find multidimensional higher truths in the old paradigm too. We're all one, so the layers of the new are threaded within the old once we have enough coherence to see the depth of reality and the multidimensional layer that exists, has always been existing. Layers that have always been existing. So, that's just a little bit of insight on where I'm at these days. And also the importance of, I really am an advocate for that. It's been such a theme for me these last, couple months, like how important it is to love our family, who they are as they are, to and the process of learning to be yourself, ourselves in our family dynamics, to bring your authenticity, but to not make everyone become your authenticity. Don't, that pushing it on someone is different than just dropping into yourself and creating the boundaries when they're necessary, when you feel like your boundaries are being overstepped. That is also an important part of the journey. So I think that's all I'm going to say today. It's kind of a short one. If you are interested in working with me as a healer, I do virtual sessions. You can start with a clarity call. Those are complimentary. They're usually about 15 to 20 minutes. And we just meet and see if it's it feels like a good fit to work together. You can share your desires and your needs for what you're looking for. And I love meeting all of you. So don't feel shy. Just reach on out. I know connecting through the virtual world is maybe new to some people, but it seems to be working well for me. And I'd love to meet you. So see you next week. Happy Sunday. And hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week.